कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, अरे कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो। साहब मिले सबूरी में, अरे साहब मिले सबूरी में, मन लागो यार फकीरी में, मन लागो।
If we are having problems, then what should we do?
Whenever you think of a problem, you think of the problem as something outside of yourself. You say, I am having a problem. So there are two entities, I and the problem. Now you are believing in the problem as something separate from you. As something separate from you. And that is why the illusion of the problem persists. Because really, the problem is not separate from you. The problem seems to exist only because you are the way you are.
We are having that experiences.
And those experiences could not have come to you had you not been the way you are.
I don't think so.
Give an example.
There are many people who are like the way I am, but they are not having the same kind of experiences. Like, there are many bad people also, but they are not having the problems.
Ten people are there in an examination hall, 10 students are there. The same question paper comes. Two are smiling, two are shivering. Those who are shivering will say the question paper is a problem. Is the question paper the problem?
Their attitude.
Problem lies in who you are. Problem lies in who you are. If you change, the same question paper can be a cause of celebration. Same question paper to 10 students. 2 are smiling, 2 are shivering. First of all, stop believing that you can protect yourself and change something outside of yourself and solve the problem. No problem is solved by changing something outside of yourself. The problem is fundamentally internal. The very fact that you are.
So what should we do? Like,
You
if
must
the problem is internal, then also we are believing in the problem.
figure out what is it in you.
Like, if we are thinking a solution, you said, that means we are believing in the problem.
You are believing in the problem as not I. The moment you say it is not a problem, it is me, then the solution comes. Then you know that you are the cause of your suffering, not the problem.
And how to shift that?
My boss troubles me. He's a problem. I keep returning to the same office every day because he pays me a lot of money. And what do I go and tell everybody? My boss is a problem. If my boss is a problem, I could have stopped going to that office long back. The problem would have ended. So surely the boss is not the problem. There is something within me. There is something within me which keeps me attached to the problem. And what is that?
Fear.
Hmm?
Fear.
Greed.
Greed or fear of losing the job.
The
It's not a
moment,
greed, I think it's a necessity kind of thing.
had it been a necessity, it couldn't have led to problems. Because you want to maintain the problem, so you call the greed as necessity. Necessities never lead to problems. Only greed leads to problems. So I immediately see that it is not my boss who is the culprit. I can leave him any day. I do not leave him. I am the one who keeps going back to him. Because I am the problem. My mind.
So this it means like we keep on running from the situation.
We keep on running from honestly acknowledging the situation. We do not honestly admit what the situation is.
Like you're saying that you are going back to office. That means you are suggesting that we should leave that office.
You cannot leave that office unless you first leave your greed.
Yeah. First leave your greed and then leave the office.
And you will not leave your greed unless you first accept that your greed is responsible for your suffering. Nobody else in the world is responsible for your suffering. Only your greed is responsible for your suffering.
Like if I have realized that my greed is responsible for my suffering and I have left the office also. But how often we keep on living? Like if my greed is a problem, I accepted that. I go to the another office. I have minimized my expenses also, and I'm going to the other office. The same boss, the same kind of boss is there also. When I should leave that office.
Just as there is something within you that does not like suffering. Similarly, there is something within others also that does not like suffering. Just as sometimes you decide that enough, no more of it. Similarly, sometimes there are bosses of other kinds also.
It's just a chance.
It is not just a chance. When you are looking with clean and clear eyes, then you know which office to go into.
And maybe that also happened that I may not find the office of my.
You then say that being there and suffering is anyway not preferable to not being there and not earning. All of these questions you are asking just because the mind wants to continue with that job. So it's trying to find the
No,
loopholes
it's not
in the...
continuing with that job. It's just like that. It may happen like I can't get
The other
office
thing may
of
also
my
happen.
choice.
Why aren't you talking about that?
Because of the fear.
Don't you see that this is what is making you continue?
Because I have had that experiences, that's why I'm fearful.
You have had that experiences because you were what you were. With fear, you will only have experiences of fear.
And how to remove that fear?
By seeing that it is causing you suffering.
But still, the fear is there inside.
Which means you like to suffer. It happens. We become so habituated.
It doesn't like come out from inside.
Take a few small baby steps. You have become habituated to fear since long. Since long we have lived in that. So it has become a part of the whole personality. Take a few small steps. You need not take a great step immediately. Like start moving into the unknown little by little. Start doing things that you may have never done before.
I do that.
Start going to places you are afraid of. Start inviting situations that make you feel afraid. And when you see that those situations, those actions are not harming you much, then you get the courage to do more.
Practice.
Actually, practice is not required. You can jump in one go also.
But still,
But
see,
if you-
we are finding the solution, right?
Yes, but if you...
That means we are believing in the problem of fear.
Yes. Practice is required only if you believe in the problem. So, really, no practice is required. If you purely feel that you have had enough of suffering, then you can jump in one go. All this practice and small talks and baby steps, all of this is needed just because you are so deeply into it and you have become friends with fear. So that friendship needs to be slowly broken.
You have the answer of every question.
Every question carries its own answer. I just try not to interfere.
Does past life therapies help removing the fear? Past life therapies. Releasing the energy. Do it.
Fear is acting upon you right now. You are uncomfortable, uneasy right now. Pay attention to that. Only that can liberate. You are feeling restless right now. You want to get rid of that, right? Pay attention to that.
Paying attention doesn't relieve it.
If you really pay attention, if you don't suppress it, then you will become so frustrated that you will have to do something.
Like, what to do?
Not to continue at least doing what you are doing. Suppose I am sitting here.
I'm not like doing anything kind of wrong thing, and I'm not doing anything kind of not normal.
I'm sitting here and that's nothing wrong. I'm sitting here and that's nothing wrong. Suppose this place is full of flies, mosquitoes. They keep coming and hitting and forming. And I might be asleep. And if I'm asleep, then it doesn't matter. 50 flies might be sitting on my face, it doesn't matter. But if I wake up, I open my eyes and I find them. I try to do something about them. You know how flies are. They go away, they come back. Then what do? Do you say that I'm not doing anything bad? No, you get up and walk away. Walk away in any direction. But you don't continue there. You don't continue there.
Like sometimes it's like there is no situation that is making you fearful, but still you are fearful from inside. So
There is something in the situation.
no, situation is not like that.
It is like that. You are not paying attention.
Like somebody
Maybe you
is
are
depressed.
taking maybe you are taking something from somebody. Maybe you are using somebody. Maybe you are dependent on somebody financially or psychologically. Situation is like that.
Okay. If the person is depressed, like the fear is always there. Then,
It doesn't matter
irrespective
whether-
of situation. Like
It doesn't matter whether it is always there or not. If it is there right now, then it must be seen what that fear is doing to you. Do you like the fear? So you see what makes you afraid. Fear only means that you are thinking that you will lose something. What are you afraid of? What is it that you fear losing? Whatever you fear losing is something that you have taken from others. It's a dependency. When you have not taken much from others, there is no need to be afraid.
your sayings are very complicated. Like my mind has to like open and struggle a lot to understand it.
Not complicated, very
मतलब
obvious.
जैसे अब मैं आपका सुन रही हूँ तो मेरे दिमाग में कुछ है थोड़े टाइम के बाद इट विल लाइक इरेज हो जाएगा तो आई
आप
थिंक
अपनी आदतों में वापस चले जाओगे
हाँ
ना।
हाँ हाँ लाइक दैट
ये छोटी सी बात है, याद रख लीजिए। डर तभी होता है जब किसी पे निर्भरता होती है। जब भी डर लगे तो देख लीजिए कि क्या छीनने का डर है। जो छीनने का डर है उसको छोड़ दो, उसको छीन ही जाने दो। ले जा भाई, तेरा है, ले जा।
like if I have the fear of getting sick or getting cancer or something.
बट स्वीकार कर लीजिए कि मरना तो है ही,
But suffering, pain,
ज़रूरी नहीं है।
pain.
स्वीकार कर लीजिए कि पेन बहुत बढ़ेगा
अच्छा, accept it. Yes.
तो नहीं जिएंगे। कोई बाध्यता थोड़ी है कि जीते ही रहना है। अब तो कानून भी कहता है कि अगर एक हद से ज़्यादा स्थिति खराब हो गई है तो चलो भाई यूथेनेसिया ले लो, जाओ। उसमें भी कोई मजबूरी नहीं है कि आपको बर्दाश्त करते ही रहना है। मत करो बर्दाश्त। जितना ज़्यादा आत्मनिर्भर रहेंगे, जितना कम दूसरों की तरफ देखेंगे, उतना अपने भीतर ताकत पाएंगे। जीवन उतना साफ रहेगा। ये सब फिर उसमें जटिलताएं नहीं रहेंगी। आपका स्वभाव, आत्मा का स्वभाव होता है आज़ादी, फ्रीडम। उसको ये पसंद नहीं आता है कि कोई किसी पे आश्रित रहे, गुलाम रहे। फिर इसीलिए दुख दर्द होता है। जहाँ भी गुलामी है वहाँ दुख है। और अपनी गुलामी के कारण हम खुद होते हैं। हम चुनते हैं गुलामी। मत चिनिए।
Thank you.